to this one. They were looking very strong on train, so I do think MIBR, as you said, they may be better than we initially think, but there's still a little bit of a question mark surrounding them. Can they take this one, though, after a 2-0 victory against NiP convincingly? Then I think that's MIBR entering the tournament for real.
It would be such a tall task, not forgetting their only wins so far. Complexity, G2, a different kettle of fish now. The Swedes against the ropes. Ninjas in Pajamas, MIBR on Inferno. Back to Moses and Vince.
The only thing standing between MIBR and a playoff spot at IEM Katowice is their own demons on Inferno and a little bit of NiP magic. We know the Ninjas are never completely out of the fight. Rez going to take up position on this pistol, but there is one lying in wait. Phelps in this left corner. Get right. There's the flashback. He mistimed his peak, but he should be able to recover, but he just doesn't want to risk it all. I don't mind that decision to fall back whatsoever from Get Right, even though it seemed he had the advantage.
It'll be disappointing though, because he could have had the kill.
Yes.
Which would have been a fantastic start so early on. Only got 6 rounds on train, their choice. Confidence building for MIBR. And all 5 players stacking up for a potential B rush. At this stage again, you're always a bit cognizant of a potential push down mid from the CTs. You may have to get a bit of a move on. They've also used all of their grenades. Here we go. They're going straight into the jugular. Get right with the CZ up close. And he's already used quite a few of his bullets. Needs to be careful, but he has Rez just behind him, and the bomb's just been dropped out. Here comes Get Right from below. But Fur, the main man, the top fragger in the previous map, is going to be able to deliver a headshot alongside Phelps. And now NiP have got to somehow try and muster their way back into destruction, and Phelps is not allowing it to come to fruition. The last standing Swede has been swept aside, and MIBR will win another pistol round.
That is so well done from MIBR. Not a bad hold whatsoever from the Ninjas initially, but I mean, that position from Phelps, 2 stunning shots on Force, an immediate kill. He didn't have a chance to respond, and then just tapping away at a very narrow angle on Dennis. This follow-up right here is so brutal. Dennis is probably frustrated with that one, didn't even get a chance. You have to imagine NiP looked at that Inferno game against Cloud9, even though it was a blowout, and saw MIBR loves using that smoke, that very close smoke at the front of the bomb site, using it to attack towards CT spawn, using it to plant into a double nade, a preemptive double nade, and that's Rez out of the fight.
The nuclear warhead lands right next to him.
Let's think, because we casted that match. That smoke was something that MIBR used frequently at this B bomb site, but also remember, their T-side was so slow. They ran out of a lot of time. A little bit of team damage, I think, is going to help Get Right find that kill. But the round is lost. That's something we're going to have to keep our eye on moving forward. The T-side that they played on Inferno at the start of this event was like trying to attack bomb sites with like 15 seconds left, and it was just falling flat. MIBR cannot fall into that trap. But you also have to say, this is I mean, that MIBR we saw on Train is not one we saw in the opening game.
Absolutely not. And it's a really good point that you raise. It was so tentative, it was almost scared. That's how it felt.
That's how Taco phrased it as well. We were very nervous heading into that match against Cloud9, which is an interesting way to phrase it as well.
And it really showed.
Yes.
It really did. But that Train T-side seemed like everything had been brushed aside. And after such a dominant performance, that's definitely not going to hurt matters when it comes to confidence and how you feel.
No, yeah, that Train performance really, I think, is gonna help a lot of others. Kind of, you know, it's gonna help assuage them a little bit, just because you had Fur being that aggressive front line. You had, you know, Fallen, Taco playing, you know, pretty just solid Counter-Strike in their positioning and their movement, their ability to trade. Coldzera was solid as a rock, and obviously Phelps an aggressive lurk style that he likes to play, so everything kind of worked out on Train. We'll see if that stands here on Inferno. As I mentioned, their own demons, it's been an up and down affair for MIBR on this map. We all know they've struggled on it historically and haven't looked great on it at other times.
But as Fallen said in the interview, they're 1-1 for the tournament, off the back of a win against G2. In terms of statistics, they were very good on Train. Red's going to find some information for himself.
Smart play, whoever that was at Logs, though. Saw that jump from Rez and just bailed out of Logs, knowing that's just a nade trap, and they respond in kind. Phelps dealing massive utility damage.
Yeah, that's going to put NiP on the back foot. They can't afford to hang around too much longer at the top of Banana.
And again, pretty aggressive openings to this round in this first gun round of Inferno. We saw it on Train. MIBR never had to slow down, but also knowing here that NiP doesn't have all the Molotovs you could possibly want, all the nades you could possibly want for Banana to really take that fight for an extended period. And this is a lot of pressure being applied on it. Get Right out of nades, Rez out of nades. This is the 2 defenders, and not even a budge from the guys at the A bomb site.
They may even think about saving if this site gets taken really quickly. Right with the Orc. Gonna go down alongside Rez. This is where I feel NiP probably should pull the plug and just get the hell out of there.
Flashbangs going around the two Mac, or behind the two Mac 10s, I should say. Taco and Fur both looking into the bomb sites. The flashbang blew up behind them, so as soon as Rez swings to take that first fight, he's half blind, and I think that was I think it was Fur that just got past him. So he was actually aiming at someone who doesn't even care that he was there, fully exposed to his teammates. And now the hunt is on. MIBR can afford to give away all these guns in searching down the weapons of NiP. It doesn't matter how many they lose.
Especially the SMGs. They had 3 or 4 Mac 10s coming into this round. Alongside of Lekro. Double team by Fallen and Fur, and all the guns have been taken away. This is a brutal start for NiP.
MIBR is ruthless right now.
They really are. I mean, you look at it, feels to me like Fur's been unlocked. Like, this is his full potential starting to come to the surface.
Yeah, he does seem to be playing at a pretty crazy high level, doesn't he?
He's 110.5 ADR with a 1.6 rating on Train.
I think it's just the fact that he's willing to be so aggressive, which we've been missing from his play at some point. And I mean, on this, you can criticize it as you want, because he's been doing it for a while, and I think teams are starting to get gotten used to it. On the CT side, it sometimes struggles, but here on the T side, when he's just wreaking havoc being this aggressive, it's really difficult to deal with.
Whereas for the Swedes, really the only shining light was Rez. And he is the first player to fall in this round, albeit with pistols.
Fell early in the last round as well, double nade, or 2 rounds ago, I should say. So CZ's a P250, or 1 CZ, a P250, and 2 Deagles. But all on his own is Lekro. Forrest can get there quick, but this kill might come out way too fast. Yeah, Forrest can't even respond. There's the peek. He's got a little bit of damage. He wanted to complete the kill. Not given that opportunity, and Get Right is the sole player left.
So a question, Moses.
Yes, sir.
Is this MIBR just playing lights out, or is this NiP also struggling?
I think it's... I'm going to put it mostly in the MIBR playing lights out category. I mean, they survived some pretty heavy pressure from NiP on Train in the early stages of their defensive half, when NiP was playing the economy game and really applying pressure to it. I think the one thing you can say is that Forrest hasn't been at the level you expect from him. I have to imagine Train is his first map where he would have a negative HLTV rating of the whole event, because he's been positive this entire time.
Yeah, it was 0.78 to be precise, with 65.6 ADR, which, I mean, for most players, that's forgivable, but the way he's been playing, yeah, it really is the outlier. It really does stand out.
Forrest is one of those players who gets punished a little bit by how good he is, because everyone expects excellence out of him.
Yes, I feel like that's the same kind of thing that Simple's been falling into this event. He hasn't really had any crazy performances. He's just kind of been going under the radar a little bit.
Well, oh, I think that flashbang actually stopped that MIBR player from swinging out right into the crosshair. I think Lekro had that gauged perfectly. Pop flash through the smoke. Lekro's gonna get 1. How many more can he get? A second follow-up. He's trapped though, and he's got to fight to his death. MIBR have stopped the bleeding, but there's only 1 defender here. This is a counter call. MIBR's abused the B bomb site, and they assumed correctly that NiP would stack it at the early stage of these rounds, and they found a way to get into this bomb site. Forrest is all alone. So many different choke points he has to watch. His teammates who have rotated or smoked over, and he just has no idea. There's that aggressive lurk up lane from Phelps.
Yeah, this A site infection is spreading. And NiP not really in a good enough position to realistically fend it off. Then it's going to decide to relocate. 5 ADR so far in this. And he is joined by Rez. They realistically have a shot at clutching this. That's got to be going through the back of their minds at this stage. 2-on-3, very difficult site to retake with a lack of utility. They've got a kit, but that's pretty much it. Smoke gets tossed out. It's going to quad off one side of the site, but now they've got to deal with it. They've got to deal elsewhere. The likes of Apps, not going to happen. They walk into their death, ultimately, in MIBR. 5-0 lead on the T half.
I think that attempted retake right there shows a little bit of desperation on the side of NiP, that they're feeling a lot of pressure from this onslaught that NiP has placed on them even extending back towards train. They really didn't have a whole lot of tools to use to get in there, and obviously you never want to go down 0-5 on the CT side of Inferno. They really, really wanted to make that work. The NiP magic has not arrived yet.
The thing is, and we did touch on this a couple of times, and more people are noticing it, Dennis has had a rough tournament. He had 35 ADR on the last map. I think he's got like 4 or 5 on this one.
Still early. We'll see that rise. We'll see that get up there.
They're going to need him, especially after this start from the Brazilians. Some banana presence has been put down and forced from Get Right. But the Brazilians are looking to acquire the A side of the map. Forest able to drill into Taco, but Fur from the side, it's going to get one back. Coldzera shutting down what remains of the A side of the map, and now that, well, Get Right and Rez, again, familiar territory. Another retake, this time with just pistols.
What a good mix of aggression, though, from MIBR. Even in the gun rounds, that's only against pistols, but even in that previous round, in that 3-on-2, how aggressively they got up mid, and then once they get the bomb planted, everyone goes back to just really solid fundamental Counter-Strike, giving up no mistakes. Coldzera being very vocal. It's interesting. We saw on Train NiP win the first pistol round and then call a timeout. They're now down 6-0, and they haven't called a timeout quite yet.
You think that they'd at least pull a trigger one time this early on, just to try and salvage this half.
This is on the verge of spiraling completely out of control. We saw NiP do this kind of banana take as well, where they set up 2 Molotovs and banana that can trap players and funnel them into a position for Get Right to be the aggressor. But, you know, the smoke coming out from MIBR top caller has kind of slowed that down. Now the fire has faded, and Get Right, that's a play you might not want to be involved in, but I take it back. 4 kills for Get Right and Rez. Great sequence. MIBR put in the back foot for the first time in this game.
And that's the kind of play that can really spur on the rest of the team. Can Taco take the wind out the sails, though? NiP in desperate need of motivation, inspiration.
And money. It all comes down to money, Vince.
Taco, Molotov in hand. Still plenty of time. Just under a minute. Did isolate the 2 ninjas in Banana, but now a third has joined them. Sprayed, connects onto Forest, who peeks by himself. Taco is low, but he's doing so much work in this round. He's going to go down, but 2 kills there is significant.
Now NiP have to build upon that round. They're going to have to drop a couple guns over, as you said. Yeah, that is beautiful. Good coordination between Get Right and Rez. We've seen them do a pretty solid job in Banana all through this event when we've seen them on Inferno. Obviously here has been a rough start. We'll see if they can stabilize. That's a battle that's going to be fought frequently.
Agent Dennis has joined us.
I always wanted to be a secret agent when I grew up. So, fair play. Here we go again, towards Banana. Smoke deep for NiP, Molotovs as well, but Rez is taking too much nade damage. They can't possibly fight for that. Get Right has to back away because Rez will not want to be aggressive. Surely they don't extinguish that and go through it. More nades towards mid, so... Oh, heavy nades towards mid. Fur is put back, so maybe his aggression will be tempered in this round. This is a pretty even affair in an all-important round 8, where NiP must win it to stabilize.
This is one of the main ways that Cloud9 really punctured down MIBR. Their grenade use was absolutely spot on when they played each other. HE's constantly landing in the face of these pushes. Maybe a way for NiP to claw the way back in is to stall the engages, slow this down a little bit. Get Right now, I'm going to take the same position that Rez did in the round prior. Yielded them 4 kills, but he is by himself. Now Rez is making a move on 33 health. Oh no. Get Right may get stuck. He's worried about Molotovs and flashbangs, so he's going to stand his ground. How many players can he take with him? 1, and he's able to escape. That kill bought him up enough time to retreat.
I was so worried there. I thought Get Right was going to get eliminated. I thought he was hoping for a flashbang, which Rez did not have. Here's Lekro, misses the opportunity. He's going to be smoked out this time. Such low HP inside the site. Great counter flash is going to slow things down. There's no peek from Rez. He's too low, but he's got 1 from Fountain. Lekro coming through. They don't expect it. He's got a double with the AUG. And Fur's left to clutch.
Gonna re-smoke CT. will be able to get the bomb planted. With just 29 health, though, if he crosses, he could end up getting killed from the spray. It's something, of course, the CTs are going to go for. With Forrest and Dennis both healthy, it's hard to see a way out for Fur here. He's just double-checking, making sure no one's down Banana so he can focus his attention onto the B side, CT and Construction respectively. He's got a flashbang. This is going to take something truly special for Fur to clutch. There's plenty of money, he may as well go for it. There's the flash, spray through, but Forrest is going to land the shot. Only needed one, and it was pretty close to detonating there actually as well. So if Fur lands that first frag, the round could have gone his way.
Yeah, that could have been another disaster for NiP with the bomb. That one on train is really kind of what put the nail in the coffin. 6-2, that's a good recovery. Not a bad defense whatsoever. Rez is having a really uncomfortable time at this B bomb site. He's taken nade damage. He's been eliminated on the save rounds. That round he's initially naded to below half health. He comes back to assist get right, eats a little bit more nade damage. Still able to do some work. But NiP not out of the woods just yet. This is kind of like a mirror match of what happened on train. NiP trying to apply economic pressure on their offensive side to the MIBR defense on train. Here it's MIBR who are just saying, we have so much cash built up, we can continue to buy. And even if we don't win these rounds, having you on the verge of being reset is effective in itself. And MIBR has been so successful. They won such clean rounds early, and they've been getting the bomb plants throughout these two losses. Cold Zera buys, and he still has 7,000. Fur's got another buy behind him, so does Fallen. Taco and Phelps are pretty much right there as well, so NiP, they need to win 2 in a row now to take this money away. They have to climb all the way back in the hardest way imaginable.
Yeah, while at the same time maintaining their own copy, making sure that doesn't slide away. Rez gonna take Fallen's life. Nade damage again on point. There's so many weakened players in Banana. Limping their way up there. Fur, Cold Zera, both a bullet away from death. But they haven't moved from Banana. It looks like they are going to still engage.
If Lekro only had an HE. He's got a Molotov, which could be so important. They can't run through any flames. Oh, great bait from Taco. Smoke's going to come down from Lekro. They might just go through it. It looks like they want to, but the HP... Oh, I think because it's extinguished, that's going to convince them the first gun, or through. That's Phelps, excuse me. He's now down. Lekro can hold the line a little bit longer. Taco's got to take all the fights. Now they're all low. A very doable retake for NiP.
That grenade could finish off Fur, and indeed it does. With Taco and Cold Zera both a gust of wind away from death, you'd fancy Forrest and Dennis to clutch this. Surely this is their moment. Surely this is their time to get 3 in a row. Down goes Taco. Cold Zera. Similar situation to Fur. Similar HP to Fur. Spins across. Can't connect on either head. And that's going to be all she wrote for round 9, with the Ninjas taking a 3rd for themselves. But again, it's another bomb plant and defuse.
Another bomb plant defuse, another 3 players gone. Thankfully, NiP, because they have, I mean, they're just barely hanging on in terms of being able to drop weapons and still have the nades picked up. The nades have been doing so much work for them in Banana, even when they're not winning the fights cleanly. Making for some easy cleanups at times. Taco had to be the aggressor in every situation there, and he almost pulls it off for MIBR. Another buy in this round for the Brazilian side, and there'll be another buy in the next round, so just not needing to save whatsoever must feel so good for them.
It's going to feel pretty good for the Swedes, though. Another opening pick and more nade damage. So MIBR keep posturing on the Banana. At what point do they decide, okay, look, this isn't working anymore? It's getting a bit stale. Dennis on quad needs to establish the crossfire. A little bit too slow to save Lekro's life, but at least stymies the push. Smokeout 2 is going to delay even longer. Forrest with a spray connects onto Fallen. This is looking much, much better for NiP.
Get Right and Rez have done a great job at Banana. That's going to allow their teammates over at A. Oh, completely blind, but Cold Zera can't find him. That's awkward. Looked a little bit weird. That's not where he wanted to land. Or not where he wanted his aim to be when he landed, and now a double peek. Get Right finishes it off. A double kill for him, a double kill for Forrest. Finally, NiP can feel a little bit more comfortable. I think to answer your question, MIBR is okay with that kind of banana presence. I think they want to maintain that throughout, because remember, just a few rounds into the game after they'd won at the B bomb site a couple times, NiP stacked banana, and they just did a knockout punch up A. Right through the smoke, they just pop flashed it, and even though it was a grinded out round, it was effective in getting them into the site and putting them in position to win. But now, due to a clean win, perhaps, MIBR does kind of lessen that pressure on banana early on. They say, all right, now we're pretty confident you're going to have all the nades and all the Molotovs. But the other thing this is gonna do to NiP is they're going to use so many nades in banana early on. Rez threw his last piece of nade right there. So did GetRight. Neither of them have anything to use for the mid or late rounds.
Plus, once the smoke clears, they know MIBR are still going to have a buy, so you can't really stay at the bottom of banana. Flashbang neutralizes you, can get Molotovs onto logs, onto the close right side, the alcove.
Yeah, they've kind of, that attack on banana every single round has really shattered the discipline of Rez and GetRight in terms of their utility. Even some of those flashbangs that are thrown, that last one that Lekro threw, they weren't even using it for anything. It was just like, I'm going to throw this flashbang just to keep MIBR scared. Mako. Not expecting two players to be holding over towards halls. But that information at least allows Fur to make the aggressive play. And now MIBR, 3 players head over towards banana to exploit the lack of nades.
It could come down to Fur's timing. If he can peek out and keep GetRight into arch side, the lack of utility is going to be a burden. He hasn't pushed just yet. Flashbang used. But actually, Rex Dennis, Coldzera just sprays through the smoke. Rez taking a bit of burn damage too. I'm pretty sure they heard that. They know he's towards the back side of the site somewhere. It's just about finding out where. GetRight, though, will pierce through the smoke, finds himself a kill. Lekro traded out. A 3-on-3. But now the Ninja's actually pulling GetRight back. I think they assumed this was some kind of a fake, and it's going to cost them dearly. Forrest is stuck in library. He can't do anything.
That is so sick from MIBR. What a nasty round. Rez even gets baited out of his position. With the time running down, he makes that play because he sees that smoke that we talked about early on that MIBR has been loving to throw in the front of the bomb site. They planted in it a number of times against Cloud9, and Rez just spams it, hoping to get the planter when he hears that click. Gives up his position, and then he's the freest of kills for an MIBR that hit the pause button. And that's some of the crazy discipline we've lacked out of this Brazilian team for a long time. Their ability to run the clock down. Not before they make a hit, but trusting that they'll eventually be able to secure the bomb site. Much different from just waiting far back passively, not even attacking a bomb site until 18 seconds. This one, they get the bomb site and let the clock run down before making their move.
It really is a balancing act. We've seen two very opposite sides of that. The Cloud9 performance, way too slow. Yeah. Shooting themselves in the foot. This time around, that was slick. Very well played indeed. And MIBR regain their winning way. 7-4, already 7 rounds on the T half.
That's great. They're so happy. And I mean, part of it is they haven't had to save. Even during NiP winning 4 in a row, they got 2 plants during that stretch, and they had so much money built up that they could buy everything they wanted through a losing bonus, or through the losing streak. Makes it so difficult for the defense where you never get a reprieve from the pressure. NiP has bended. They haven't broken yet. But they're on the verge of it. I think this round, if MIBR wins it and NiP cannot buy in the next, they're just going to run the score up.
Well, MIBR looking to snap onto A. Heavy presence from the counter-terrorists here, though. Swedes have 3 players on the site, with Rez watching Arch. So this leaves GetRight alone with the UMP, so he could feel a little bit vulnerable over that. But Rez now going to have a look towards Arch. Is he going to peek? Could this just come down to timing? Could this entire round rest on his shoulders? Perhaps so. He's going to back away though. Molotov out. Fur is going to go straight in. He can sense weakness, but decides better off it because he knows there's a crossfire established. Lekro gets 2 with an MP9 of all weapons, but now it's going to start to bounce back in the favor of MIBR. Dennis on an island all alone. He is marooned on A site, and he's been found and fragged, leaving Rez now with the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he will crumble.
That's the kind of pressure you like to see Fur applying. Running in through the archway, showing presence, acting like he's going to chase down the kill and backing up when the fight isn't in his favor. That halts the rotation entirely. Get Right realizes the danger Dennis is in and is just trying desperately to get to him to be able to provide some kind of support. And Fur's just waiting. 15 kills, 14 on Cold Zera. Over 100 ADR for the both of them.
You're saying that the ninjas were bending, but they hadn't broke just yet. Well, I think we've reached that point, Moses.
Yeah, they just snapped like a twig.
Under the foot of Made in Brazil. Play stacked up mid. Lecro.
Has been planted.
Go momentarily. But the backup is maybe misplaced. Get Right's getting a lot of information. So the team could pivot off this. UMP long range finds Caldera, and now they are going to move in on A instead.
And we'll see, remember, I mean, MIBR back on train in that first half, they were ruthless in hunting down guns. We'll see if NiP wants to play that same style, at shock and awe. Get Right's got position to allow his teammates to come. He's cleared out CT spawn, so he at least has that portion of the map safe, which means his teammates can get close enough to hunt down these weapons if they want. Rez starting to move across the map as well in those halls. Dennis peering down mid. And plenty of time still, if they want to commit to that. But two spread out to really go for any kind of deep dive into this B bomb site. Get Right starting to lurk up now. Forrest is coming to join. Rez is going to be at the base of Banana where he might be Fallen. That might be the next battle at Fallen spotted some.
Ooh, that's money in the bank. They're not going to mind that at all. Money towards his AWP fund, but Get Right's going to find him in the backside there. Oh no! He actually did get the kill. I thought he'd been denied just beforehand, so they at least take the weapons away. But it was a little bit scrappier than the Swedes would have liked.
That's going to be fine, though, because it makes them feel much better about this round. You know that MIBR, there's not enough money on the CT side, only 2 rounds in, for them to reinvest in those deagles, so they just wanted to make sure that... And remember, coldzera on train had a triple kill with a deagle that stopped them in their tracks. They don't want that to happen again. Even just one deagle can be dangerous. So it's just a P250 and a flashbang in Taco's hands.
And with a buy like this, you'd expect to have a stack, and we're going to see it happen. Flashbang in mid doesn't really affect Lekro at all. And Rez able to tag team him in with the UMP. Get right goes one to the left, so no longer a surprise. Fallen's the only player that has bounced back with a kill, but it looks like that will be the only endeavor that MIBR find in round 18.
Cheeky little shoulder peek from coldzera, just to spot if they're coming up mid or not, so he knows exactly their distance, so he knows exactly when to call for that flashbang. And yeah, just kind of maybe not the flashbang they necessarily designed in theory, as it didn't blind the players on the right side of mid from their perspective. But we're all tied up, Vince. 9-9 into the first gun round. Fallen has the AWP and a smoke. He's going to take that towards the B bomb site. He's playing with Fur, who's got an HE grenade. They don't have the Molotovs to really do too much. And how do they want to stop this? Fallen going to go for the peak. He's going to go aggressive. He wants to set the tone early, and he's got the angle very, very quick. NiP have to be careful about how they attack Banana if they go back to it all in this round. Phelps is the only one playing in mid right now. He's in cubby. He's joined up by Fur just at the right moment. Could be a slaughter. They're not going to check this, and there's even a third player at the corner. Brilliant rotations from MIBR. Still a chance for NiP, and Forrest is going to open it up.
coldzera did see both plays, so now they know they can stay in position. Fallen may need to make a move up. He does have the ult, though, of course. So at range, if NiP try to back away through mid, he will have them dead to rights. But they're going to decide to buckle down. They're going for the A plant. Lekro in good position, is going to get one, and now it's down to Fallen. The in-game leader, the AWPer. He's pulled off some miracle plays on this very map with the AWP in past.
I think it's a little too early for him to risk the AWP unless someone from NiP was going to make a mistake and actually push into it, so he's just going to back off. They want to have one weapon in the next round, but that's a great opening by NiP. They encountered a lot of resistance in mid, 3 players on Rap side, and they're able to take them all out. Brilliant shot by Forrest. That third player swings out wide. And the exact fight he wanted, so NiP take the lead. As shocking as that may sound after watching the first half, NiP looking to force a third map.
Considering it was 6-0 after MIBR won the first pistol round, and then at one stage was 9-4. The fact that we are even in a position where NiP are leading is testament to how awesome this comeback has been. It's 6 rounds in a row if you consider the last 2 went in the previous half to the Swedes now. What a turnaround.
You mentioned that everyone, you know, Forrest had an amazing event so far, but everyone else had stepped up. Rez was coming alive, but like Lekro had had his moments. He's having another one of them here. 18 and 13. He's leading the way of the server. So the AWP in Fallen's hands. A half buy behind it. They've got 4 smokes left, so they can play some delay tactics. NiP is going to have to apply some pressure to force those out early in the round. But if Fallen can rotate into the right position when needed, the AWP combined with the deagles could be so deadly. Phelps has the CZ that's over at the A bomb site. NiP is going to wait for some counter utility.
Fur and coldzera need to hold the line. coldzera's already gone down. What can Fur do? They haven't checked the pillar yet. The Molotov doesn't spread, but there we go. Get Right's going to be meticulous in his approach. Leave no stone unturned, and Fallen has to peace out with the AWP.
You know, it's been so cool from Get Right, as I've witnessed through watching him play this tournament and NiP progress through this tournament, is... Remember, he's one of the most legendary players, and he's known for his lurking. And in this version of NiP, he's really turned himself into a pretty solid entry fragger.
Yeah,
like absolutely. A complete role reversal from what he used to do.
And even in the rounds where he is lurking, he's still acting as an entry a lot of the time if they decide to rotate back around to him.
Hey, he's like their plan B, isn't he?
Yeah. And one hell of a plan B at that.
Yeah, what a luxury. But it's pretty impressive that he's been able to reinvent his game. He spent, you know, a year with some health issues where his performance kind of dipped. lot of people didn't think he would be able to come back and have impact at this level of play, but I think a lot of times during this tournament he's proven them wrong.
A really good state right now of CS when you think about how many storylines we have coming into this major. MIBR starting to show up again. You've got some of these old veterans in Get Right and Forest really turning things up. FaZe of this unknown entity still.
Yeah, they're kind of like the last one that you'd like to see turn up, because I still feel like we haven't seen how good they can be in this event.
Yeah.
11-9 in the favor of NiP. Double op setup coming out for Fallen and coldzera, and we've seen coldzera be very serviceable with a double op, playing it towards rep side. But so important for this map is retakes, and double op is really going to hinder that on the CT side. MIBR hoping those ops can stop NiP from even taking a bomb site and avoid the retakes altogether. We'll see if it comes true.
Molotov not quite on point. I think it hit off the wall. I'm not sure if maybe it was actually designed that way just to stall the potential mid push, but MIBR with their heavy investment over on B isn't really going to yield much, so Fur's going to pull back and join the rest of his team on A.
This is going to be a timing hit. They got to go now as well. Fur's almost here. He's going to be alive right here. There's a flashbang. Get right, shooting to make sure Taco looks directly at the flash. It doesn't work, and I don't know how coldzera hit that. He looked completely blind, and this hit is stopped cold.
That was absolutely ridiculous, and that could be the determining factor in this round. Because whoever he hit was about to drop into pit, and things are going to get very interesting. Molotov kill onto Lekro. I think the smoke was about a second too late. Dennis is going to pop up, but he's instantly knocked down. Taco's picked up 3, make it 4. What a hold.
Yeah, great round from Taco. Stopping the first attacker, coldzera gets the second, but he shuts them all down from there. NiP, they try and catch MIBR sleeping a little bit, and I think they had the right timing. I don't think Fur would have been able to get too involved in that action, but Taco and coldzera getting the first 2 kills of a hit like that pretty much seals it. MIBR creep a little bit closer to regaining the lead, 10-11. And all 5 players survive. That's the important part. Now they have an extra buy behind this. They have a little bit of a buffer.
Oh, the flashbang underneath Reyes. It's going to do a lot of damage. He doesn't realize it. It was perfectly timed. You could see him covering his eyes as he was melting away. So that's now going to put them on the back foot. He can't afford to stay around a banana in case another HE comes down there.
I think the biggest problem is, I don't know if they even realize it's a double op yet, but they have to be able to push this defense back. Forrest is snuck in a position at logs. He could peek up at any time. Phelps has no idea. Fallen peering deep. Sees the shoulder, swings out. Oh, he couldn't complete the kill fast enough. Fallen is so low. Oh, a good response, a good trade from Reds. And that will force the defense back, and that will thin the defense at the A bomb site as Fur comes to join with Phelps.
Must be so frustrating. He was on the very cusp of getting both of those kills, and instead got neither. As you say, though, Rez does counter the frag with one of his own instantly. And now Phelps and Fur are going to hold position. Phelps tagged up heavily.
coldzera readjusting as well, going over towards CT arches so we can have a fast rotation if this B hit comes in. Lekro is lurking up brackets. Needs to be patient though, and he's not going to be. Oh my god, coldzera almost pins him to the wall. A risky play from Lekro, and Fur, that's got to be frustrating. Blind luck through the smoke.
Time though, Moses, 20 seconds. NiP have been Molotov'd off. Oh, this is going to be so frustrating. They're going to be itching to get on this site. There's a small gap, actually a massive gap for Phelps over this smoke, and he can just find his time, ready to strike. Switch across from Fur for a triple spray. MIBR, turn it up a notch.
They had so many win conditions there as well. They didn't even have to necessarily get the kills with the time being that low. They could have just kept throwing bodies. Even if they go down, it just takes too much time for NiP to clear out the bomb site. 11-11. Not having a plant kind of hurts NiP. They have a full buy this round, but the coffers are running low. Maybe it's not blind luck. Maybe they boosted over and he just saw him at the last second. Either way, this transfer with the AUG looks easy.
Oh, was so calm after that huge play. coldzera, though, aggressive in mid. Reaps the reward. And NiP just can't catch a break.
Well, that double up has been quiet. We haven't seen it get too many picks, and I think coldzera was just bored. I think he wanted to go take a shot, find a fight. Fur close up. Dodges the flashbang, swings around. Forrest is ready, and Fallen had it trained through the smoke. He doesn't realize it. He's got to try and back away. Once you see the nades start raining over, might as well, and there's a missed shot. Now they have the B bomb site susceptible. It's just Phelps, 1 on 4.
There's 3 players here who could catch NiP unawares. What an entry by Rez. Phelps will be devastated he didn't do better, but still take nothing away from the Swedes. That's a beautiful take.
It really is, and it's relentless. They just keep pushing forward despite all the obstacles, and this has turned into a bit of a brawl. A bit of like a Rocky movie where there's really no style or substance. They just keep hitting each other and see who falls first.
There's no defense, just haymakers.
Yeah, and everyone can take 1,000 punches.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be the last man standing to the bitter end. This is what we were looking for, though. Taco and coldzera are going to look to hold on to their equipment value. But M4 looks like they're going to be able to do it. I can't see any of the NiP players near them. There we go. We move into round 24. NiP regained the lead. MIBR with the save guns will be able to drop some and come back swinging once again.
It's a pretty big round, though, for how long this fight can continue on the MIBR side. Most of their players are bought to nothing. Phelps, Fur, and coldzera have nothing behind this investment. So for NiP, winning means easing their troubles in the future. For MIBR, it means extending the amount of time they can actually fight for this map. This has been so impressive for NiP. They got decimated at the start of that first half. They stopped the bleeding, closed the gap as much as they could, and now on this T side with the advantage. It's been 6 of 8 rounds in the second half have gone the favor of the Ninjas.
Double nade stack, not going to yield a kill, but does significant damage to Rez. Standard formation on MIBR. No 3-player stack on B this round. Fallen's had a bit of a quiet game as well, just the 7 kills, down around 30 to 40 ADR. Could be a player that separates these two teams if he starts to find some AWP shots. Is now his moment. No! I am so stunned he missed that.
Yeah, he set that up perfectly. Looking into the wall, he was hoping that NiP would flash it, indicate they were coming. As soon as the flash pops, takes that peek, and it seemed like he had one dead to rights. And oh, that's a great adjustment, though. Rez nearly caught him off guard, but he has no information. 24 seconds on the clock, and now the footsteps begin. Now everyone runs up in a position. That counter flash not going to do anything. NiP hasn't turned the corner yet. Molotov's in toward Tribox. Fallen's not blinding. This is another shot. Now he's burning, but Fur's got him covered. Oh, and they've readjusted. They've moved into the back corner. They know he's there. Fallen, what more can you do? The flick over won't work. It's all on the timing. Phelps, does he want to try and stop this? He spammed down 1. That's not the planner. A 2 on 3.
No grenades intact for the Ninjas, though. But Phelps has been found alongside Lacro, leaving it on Dennis. AK-47 separates him, and MIB clawing us back to a tie once more. You can hear footsteps to his left-hand side. Taco's now on the bomb. He's defusing. It's going down ever so quick. Dennis is going to find him, sprays through, but can't get the kill, and dies afterwards anyway. MIBR will take us to 12-12.
A really awkward spam that just doesn't connect, unfortunately. Looked like he had it right. And I'm going to say, he should have never been in a 1-on-2. Lekro, I'm not sure why he was trying to commit so much and jump out from that position. He had it safe with the AWP. I think he was just worried in case they had a Molotov or a nade. But he really gives himself up and puts Dennis in a tough spot. Mistake in a game that's otherwise been fantastic for Lekro. 12-12 down the stretch.
Could not be any closer or more tense. MIBR 4 rounds shy of securing their position in the top 8.
The setup is so sick.
Shot lands, Taco's gonna come in afterwards, you expect. Looking at the left-hand side, that's so unlucky from coldzera. He lands the shot, but somehow it's a leg. Not the chest. Phelps is going to get flashed out, can't follow on, and cracked with the AUG. Bomb gets dropped, but it's in a position that's salvageable now. Now Phelps has gone with it. And with Fallen and Fur alive, they are going to find the first player in Forest who is stuck. In-apps, back turned. Fallen takes a dink for his troubles, but now going to press forward. Look to try and take the fight to the Ninjas, who have made A their home. There's still some utility at their disposal, but a flashbang perfectly counters the push. This is valuable time. They do have a kit, and Dennis from the side is going to come in with one. It's all about this next bullet. Lecro on 4, Fallen on just 18. He's going to go for the defuse in the smoke, but he doesn't have the kit. It's on his Fallen comrade. He's just waiting there, hoping that Lecro shows himself, but Lecro is playing this to perfection, and the Ninjas will move ahead again.
That's so sick. Makes up for the mistake in the previous round. Beautiful play from Lecro in the pit, using utility to delay. Pressing the issue as well after the stack just doesn't pan out. One kill for coldzera. They wanted more. Taco couldn't get anything, and that leg shot is the one that sealed it. Lecro with a big-time win. Giving NiP the lead one more time, 13-12, and that's it. MIBR. They couldn't build up enough cash flow to keep fighting. Back onto the pistols. They'll have one more chance in the last round before NiP are on map point. Leg shot onto Phelps.
Great reaction speed, just unfortunate not to get the outright kill. But as you said, Moses, there's not really much behind it. Just a Deagle and a P250. Phelps is the player with the P250 that got legged. And NiP are on the precipice right now of taking us to Mirage. We are that close.
Barring anything crazy, you're exactly right. And I say that because 4 players coming over to this B bomb site, and they really only have USPs. Rez is going to be hurt. He cannot be on the front line of this attack, which kind of lessens it down to just 3 players because the AWP is going to stay back as well from Lecro. Horus going to inch his way in.
I wonder if they get baited off that. You don't typically peek if you're stacking a site. But Forest, he's been here before. He's not going to get taken down from that, and Taco's the last player. Yeah, I was worried there, because typically if you stack, you just hide in position and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's a play that I think most pros will have ran into in the past, the old bait and switch. Send a player out to die and hope they commit to the bomb site without really second-guessing it. I think the great play also is from Forest, just crouching underneath that boost and getting as close to the smoke as possible. The player on top of the box is expecting contact from his teammates, and he's just a free kill, and then they check the boost, realizing the possibility of a stack. 14-12. What a great offensive half from NiP. They have looked stellar in recovering from an opening half that was just so painful. Lecro still leading the way as well, 22-17, but none matters more than the impact of that clutch, that 2-on-2, which turned into a 1-on-1 that he takes out Fallen.
Yeah, if they end up winning this map, that was the moment, that was the turning point.
Fur's leading the way in the whole server, 23-17, and coldzera's not too far behind him at 21.
So for this series, that would put Fur on 46 kills.
Yeah, he's been pretty nasty, hasn't he?
He was on 23 on Train, and we're not done just yet. Both teams come through with a pretty decent buy. Obviously, MIBR do fall behind, courtesy of, well, let's just be real, a very shaky last few rounds.
No ops. They've wanted that double op setup. They've had it a number of times in these rounds. They just don't have the money for it. No kits either, Vince. And we've seen a couple retake scenarios that have come down. Taco being spammed. He had the kit that allowed him to secure the bomb defuse before he got killed. Fallen in the last round, not wanting to stick to defuse without one.
Yeah, you're exactly right, especially with just 2 Molotovs and smokes in play. And some of them are now being tossed out. Flashbangs are running low additionally. They've had such a good read on this T-half. Still trying to spam through just to make sure that no one is close at the top of Banana. Checking every angle, Molotoving out sandbags. Taking every precaution necessary, as you'd expect, with so much on the line.
Also looking for a reaction on the other side of the map. On these rounds on Inferno, when it comes down to the stretch, you often see teams and players shy away from some of those aggressive battles in Banana, willing to take it just to a late round set piece. Only one counter flash, and that's in Fur's hands. He's at the B bomb site. It'll be useless. MIBR just has to straight up win these fights. Get Right jumps in. Phelps is going to finish that off. They know both are in the site, but this is hard. They're being pushed back. Dennis going to swing out wide. Him and Red's going to find that kill. coldzera hasn't been cleared. 8 seconds left on the clock. coldzera's going to deliver again. It's Forrest who's going to go in with the ult, but he can't do it. coldzera, patient in the site, is going to get MIBR on 13, just one round behind.
And patient is just the spot-on word. He had a couple of chances, a couple of glimmers to take that shot right here, and he waits for the perfect moment. He was everything in this round for MIBR. If he goes down with only getting one kill, the plant can be put down. The round is still open for debate at that stage.
His teammates ran just enough distraction to make his position so powerful. Timeout being called. You could see Zeus talking over with his teammates, NiP discussing amongst themselves, Zeus and coldzera being very vocal. (14-13), both of these teams playing for a spot in the champion stage in the top 8 of the IEM Katowice Major. Everything on the line here, NiP one map down. They must win 2 more rounds, and they're out of money after this bye.
Everything hangs by a thread. MIBR at least have the luxury of picking up the first map. NiP do not have that luxury. They have no safety net. It is go for broke. Quite simply put, if they lose this, MIBR are through, and NiP will have to play another best of 3. Lekro, who has been one of the main stars of Inferno, is the first player to have a quick peek up mid. MIBR have got 4 players over here, but they're now going to retreat Fallen back towards the B side. Maybe anticipating a full-on 8 rush. Didn't come in.
I wonder if NiP is going to speed it up a little bit and choose an earlier time to attack a bomb site, as that round they were running so low. Made them have to force the battle with coldzera inside the site before they were really ready. Starting to make their move now. Control of brackets goes to NiP. Phelps is going to slowly back away. Fallen has an op, but again that's at the B bomb site. If they can crack into it, he is going to be very much diminished in his impact and get right with the lurk inside of the smoke. When does he choose to pounce? He's so close.
Dennis has been found though, so now MIBR's alarm bells begin to ring. Hell of a shot by Lekro. It's a flashbang. Pressure so much on Fur's shoulders, and he's going to come out. He's preemptively spraying down with his AUG. Oh, Fur's going to hold the line, and with it, NiP are going to concede this round. They don't have control of the bomb, and Get Right can do nothing with 8 seconds left.
What a dirty shot by Lekro, and an even better hold of the line from Fur. He's been so stellar. We mentioned top of his team, top of the server, and Get Right. That's a disaster. He goes down after the time is done. He gets no bonus money, stuck on 150 bucks. The timeout works wonders for MIBR, even in a high-pressure situation. And now just at the end, just at the finish line, they've grabbed control. This is so sick. I think if he felt like he had time, he would have fallen away and maybe given up that angle, but because he couldn't get away, he was forced to stand and fight, and it works wonders. NiP simply do not have anything to fight with in this round. 2 flashbangs, a deagle on Dennis, and Glocks. They're going to have to fight for overtime in round 30, and even then it won't be a pretty purchase.
Fur knew if he was going out, he was going out on his shield. And the same could be said of NiP. They have valiantly bounced back in this map. So have MIBR. A real test of will. 2 flashbangs. All that NiP possess with a lonely deagle. Can Dennis work that magic wand once again? Flashbang allows him to have that first peek on Arch. No one's home. MIBR way more passive. Must have had a good read of the situation.
I think they just know the economy situation. They know they've finally done it. They had to have felt close for a number of rounds. not wanting to let those Deagles have a chance to use the Augs at range. Phelps in first, slaughtering NiP in round 29. The bomb on the ground, Taco gets the final kill. And now, no matter what weapon you have, Taco's going to upgrade that SMG surely for this last round. It remains to be seen what NiP can actually bring into it. They fought so long and so hard, and it must be difficult. They have one more obstacle to overcome, and a timeout comes in. From the, 7-0 deficit in the first half, 6-9 at halftime. The blitz that they had to survive from MIBR's offense, and now in this second half they grinded all the way back. They took a narrow lead for just a moment, and it all comes down to this 30th round as MIBR might just steal this map away, this map and this series, and a spot in the top 8 right at the last moment.
There's going to be some truly terrifying teams at that 2-2 mark as well. I believe we could have FaZe in the mix. Pretty terrifying stuff. The last buy potentially of this match, we'll see get right on only a CZ. With him dipping down in firepower though, does get them more nades, and what a ballsy call this is. MIBR are going to take the fight to NiP in the last round of regulation, and they're going to get rewarded with a couple of kills, but it's backfiring. NiP now do take the man advantage for a brief moment before Fallen drills down Rez with his AWP. But so little time has passed that now NiP can kind of calm down, just let this simmer, and figure out where they're going to push next.
And Taco, he calls NiP's, he's really giving them an opportunity, drops a smoke in the choke point, rotates off the B bomb site, left it completely unguarded. NiP obviously with no idea. Now he's come back. Smoke in his face, how does he want to play this? You don't want to be too aggressive, you want to wait for Fallen to get there. Play the odds almost with the spam kill. Forrest down low and just to Galil as well. One more smoke on Dennis, but the bomb will be planted.
Smoke again denies Taco. Other smoke is faded. Fallen now has an opportunity, and the smoke's not great. Taco can get up on the coffins. He's getting a lot of information for his teammate. And in comes Dennis. He's gone down. Forrest now has to step up, and there's Fallen. He's going to do it for MIBR. They're going to move through to the top 8, and NiP have to go through another best of 3.
What an impressive win for MIBR. An impressive comeback from NiP. That map is a treat. Both of these teams fighting all the way down. And MIBR going into the top 8, nobody likes that. Nobody wants to give them a chance to build up even farther into this game. And Peta doing his best to console his players.